Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. Well, I have been working for days trying to figure out how to make this Intellivision controller work. Gonna sneeze. Okay, so big shout out to the people over at Death Skull Laboratories here who had the pinouts for and the logic tables for the Intellivision. So two things. The television is a 16 direction gamepad. Why? No idea. So first I was going to use a series of AND gates. OR gates and AND gates on this one. But then I was able to figure out I just need 4 AND gates and a transistor to do it. Then the hard part was figuring out the keyboard. So that went on, and on, and on, and on, and on. Look at all those AND gates I thought we'd have to use. Until I finally got to all it's going to need. Look, I did this for days trying to figure this out. Until I came up with this. So I don't even think I need that right now. Do I need the AND gate? Let's see. I don't think I need that many AND gates. I thought I simplified it. Anyway, yeah, it actually just needs some transistors. It doesn't even need an AND gate at all. So we look at the logic. I actually drew this on another piece of paper somewhere. I'll give you a little bit of secret here. So I hooked up the Intellivision, and I hooked up one of the controllers, and as long as it's reading less than like 3K, it picks it up as a logic low. Because this is one of the few, all the pins are actually held high, and they get pulled down the low, which makes it a nightmare. So, give you my little secrets here. So how it works is, it even shows up. Let that show up. So we go. I'll do it on here. It actually shows up better. So the secret was, this is locked. Okay, so the secret is you have 3 columns and 4 rows. Starting at the top is row 4. This is column 1. So what you have to do, this isn't actually, this connection gets made when you press on it, so there's actually, envision there's a push button switch here that makes contact. So what you do is on the keypad there's 4 rows. So the key 1 through 3, 4 through 6, 7 through 9, clear, K0, enter. So what you do is you put your line coming here from each of those. So row 1 is pin 4, and then this is pin 3. Conveniently that's pin 2, and then finally you have pin 1. So these are being pulled high by the Intellivision. So what you do is you put a 1K resistor to ground on all these. And then, how do we envision this? When you press this button here, this does get pulled down the ground through a 1K resistor. These are all 1Ks here. These are 1K resistors. So what you do is you hook up the output of one of these to the base of a transistor. In this case, a 2N3904. And then you're going to have your input. This is your resistor base. This is your, I forget what they call this. This is the, that's a collector. And this goes down the ground. So what you do is you hook up the the column pin up to it. So this is, you go columns 6, 7, and 8. So column 6, or sorry, pin 6, pin 7, and 8, which is column 1, 2, 3. So I'm out of focus. So what that means is when no one's pressing the button here, that means no current is flowing through the column line. So when you do press the button, current flows through here. The the voltage drops across this resistor. So you have 5 volts coming in here. You have 5 volts drops across those resistors, which means this is at 5 volts. That 5 volts goes into the base of your transistor and allows this transistor to act like a switch, so the current flows through here. So you hook up your line, which is floating at 5 volts here. So when you press this button, it actually sends this signal. You have to make sure this is like less than 1K. You can make it really small if you want. That will go through, go to ground. So it'll show up as column 1, row 4, column 1 is low because you're shorting at the ground and then shorting the ground through this transistor. And what you end up here you got your, this is your row 4 here, and there's your column 1 right there. So bada bing, you got yourself a way to decode this. So I went through a lot of iterations on the joystick side, and the joystick you basically have this is where I'm going to have, well, I need 5 volts for the the transistor is going to be powered entirely off of the Intellivision, but this I need some AND gates though. So when you're pushing diagonal, so I at least want 8 directions. I can't do 16, so I need at least 8 directions. So when you press this, that's the ground, that's the ground, that's the ground, and this is really messy. Alright, so the one side goes to the ground on all of them. Alright, so what it means is if I push up and right, I don't have to worry about, because this is never mind that one. I missed that one. Alright, so this one goes to whatever. So when you press upright, say, well, one side's already hooked up to, like, your upright is this guy here. It's 2, 3, and 9. So the 2, 3 get handled. So say 2 comes in here, 3 comes in here. Those are going to the ground. Fine. But what does that mean to, actually I want to go 1K again to ground. So what that means is when I hit that, I need the outputs of each of these needs to go, the grounds have to be isolated. Each ground, just like we did before, let's do just 2 directions here. Let's go do the upper right. So 1K to ground, same thing over here. So the ground's actually isolated. So when you press here, this goes off to 2, this goes off to 3. Great. you press it, it goes down to ground. So what you have to do here is you need, again, we have your 5 volts here. When this is actuated and you actuate this, this goes to 5 volts. What you have to do, similar to before, but we have to put an AND gate in there. So this line only goes high when this and that. It's literally, it's and. You both have to both. And then, again, we feed into the base of a transistor. And this is connected to pin number 9. 9 is the one that tells the Intellivision that's going off on the diagonal. Again, this is going to bring, so that's like probably the 1K or less there. Might need to be less, but I'm talking to myself here. This will drive the pin 9 low, and if you have a diagonal, direction we're going for is known as 3. So direction 3, look, we got your pin 2 is low, pin 3 is low, and pin 9 is low. So that gives you upper right. And that logic actually holds, only the diagonals use that 9 pin. Oh, excuse me. So that will get us to having the joystick. And then the buttons, there's actually 3 buttons. I had to add a third. So this will be button 1, button 2, or button 1, button 2, and then button 3. Ambidextrous. Alright, so what we'll be doing tonight, friends, is I'm going to breadboard this first to see if it actually works. My capture card stopped capturing. Well, that's annoying. That's so weird. In, out. Hold on just a second. Hey, okay. Let's see, I have my Intellivision 2 over here that I am using to figure out this circuit. So, took me a while. I know there's like USB solutions out there that convert everything to the proper code out for it, but I decided I want an all analog solution to this, because I'm crazy like that. These are AND gates. I bought quad AND gates, which means I only need to use 1 chip for it. This is my breadboard from college. So that breadboard is at the least, hold on a second, I dropped it. That breadboard's at least 28 years old. But in case you've never used a universal breadboard or experimental breadboard, how it works is these columns are electrically connected, and then these rows here are connected here to here, but you have to jumper to there. So what you usually do is you put like your 5-volt bus here, you put your ground down here, and this channel in here is for ICs, which is very handy. I think I bought real Texas Instruments for this one. Get your IC. Little notch is always where your 1 pin is, and you see how convenient it is. You get to straddle that little channel in the center. You got to bend the pins very slightly, but you straddle the center like that. And then I need to pull up the data sheet for this little guy. And this is what's going to be used for the joystick section, and then the. Hopefully I didn't bend that pin. Of course I bent the pin. Oh, it's been a long day. Okay. Shouldn't do this on a Monday. Okay, so look here, you see that's actually nice and seated in the breadboard. What chip is this? This is a CD 4081. Pretty sure I know the pin out. Okay, this is a CD 4081B, is a quad AND gate, so VDD is upper right. That's male to female. I need some male to males. Where's my little male to males at? So this is our. I don't know why that Intellivision, the capture card, keeps locking up. That's so weird. I'll mess with it later. You don't need to see it right now anyway. So we're gonna go. We're gonna make. Where's the red? So upper right is your voltage coming in, and then your lower left there, double check, is your ground pin, and let's grab one more of each, red and black. So, and I'm just going to put it in here. The reason why is that is, oops, wrong color. I'm going to need to apply power to it. And that's what, let's see, I got my OBS so I can see what I'm doing. This is just going to be your power and ground. I don't have it turned on right now. Alright, so joystick. I want those all to go to ground, but I also want to break. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, this is the extension cable from the Intellivision controller, and I need a DB9 female. DB9 female. I thought I'd kick it around here somewhere. Well, I'll get one in a minute. You know what? We're already 20 minutes in, so I'm going to pause for now and then pick this up probably tomorrow. Get a few connectors soldered up and then keep continuing wiring this and trying it out. So everyone, thanks for watching. Hopefully this wasn't too nerdy for everyone. I don't know why this camera keeps getting out of focus. Anyway, hope this isn't getting too nerdy for everyone, but you can see it took a bit to figure out, okay, exactly how in the world do I translate this inverted logic. So it's getting there. I'm going to have I got to solder wires to this thing, this keypad. I need to solder wires to this keypad in the meantime, and I also need to solder up a breakout cable for the breadboard. So once I make sure everything works on this breadboard, I will do it on a permanent board instead and make sure it works on paper. It doesn't mean it works in real life. So everyone, thank you for watching and have a great evening.